this season.
Yeah, not the best way to start the game, kicking it out of touch. He looked like he got caught in two minds and then just hesitated.
3 minutes gone, 0-0. And Tottenham attacking the goal away to our left, have the ball deep inside their own territory. Gray out towards Jed Spence, another start for him. 2 in a row now, first time that's happened in a Tottenham jersey in the Premier League. Interruption by Son, turns it back over the halfway line after Manchester United thought they'd won it back, and then it's collected by Maddison, just short of the halfway line. He tries to turn it round the corner, but he's being pursued by Christian Eriksen, and then Archie Gray, who is once again partnered with Radu Dragusin at the heart of the defence, look to move the ball forward. Spurs were imperious against Southampton. They made an incredibly fast start to that game and raced into a 4-0 lead within half an hour. Manchester United took a little while to get going and won their Manchester derby with 3 minutes of a burst of energy at the end. Jed Spence trying to get round the back of Lenny Yoro, bumps into him, drags him down, gives away a free kick on the edge of the box.
Yeah, this Jed Spence conundrum is interesting to me, because when he signed from Nottingham Forest, he came with a lot of prospect. Then he's been sent out on loan 3 times, and now he's finally starting games for Tottenham. I think at the weekend against Southampton, he was very, very good. He got an assist for James Maddison's goal, and he looks really confident, and it's good to finally see him getting some minutes in the Tottenham Hotspur, because at the Tottenham Hotspur Shugs, at one point he looked like he was done here, didn't it, really?
He never really got going. I think that's the key thing. He's never really become a Spurs player, has he? I mean, he's always been on the fringes of things. So, I mean, it's a surprise because they haven't got the deepest of squads. I mean, we can see that tonight when you look at the bench. You've got Sergi Reguilon, whose last appearance was for Brentford at the end of last season, and played on loan at Manchester United and the Bees over the course of the last campaign. And most of the rest of them are youngsters, apart from Lucas Bergvall, who is a youngster, but at least he's been involved with the first team on a more regular basis. Yeah,
I like Bergvall. He played a lot in his competition, and especially in Europe as well, and I like him. I think he's got a lot about him. He's a young player, played at the weekend, like another player that's really comfortable on the ball. And I say that because I think this Tottenham Hotspur team, James Maddison's very good in those areas, but I think at times Tottenham give away the ball far too cheaply in certain areas. I think their best player this year has been Kulusevski. I think he's been excellent coming in from the right-hand side, always in amongst it, and I think Tottenham look really dangerous when he has the ball.
Inconsistency about both these two teams, both Tottenham and Manchester United. Manchester United coming in on the back of 2 good results, would love a third. In fact, last Thursday when I was in freezing Pilsen, Manchester United and Ruben Amorim were on the verge of losing 3 games on the trot. Now they're on the verge of winning 3 games on the trot. How things can turn in football. Rasmus Højlund vies with Bissouma for the ball as it drops into the middle of the Tottenham half. It then spills out to the right, and Pedro Porro was trying to clear, but Fernandes was making himself a bit of a nuisance. The referee, who is John Brooks, didn't think that was legal and gave a free kick to Spurs 3 yards in from the right touchline.
Do you know what, Sam? That's one of the first times in a really long time I've seen Manchester United go long and look to turn a team. Christian Eriksen made a really good deep line run into the front 9 area. It wasn't the greatest of balls from Dalot, but I like the intention. I think Manchester United go back far too often.
Solanke chasing another long ball, this time through the middle of the United half, and Lenny Yoro has to come across, use his muscle and just edge Solanke off the ball. They had quite a lot of appearances actually for Lille after coming through their ranks. 52 million quid he cost. They made 60 appearances in French football. He is only 19 years of age. He was convinced to join Manchester United after a phone call with Rio Ferdinand. Here is Dragusin, who was convinced to join Tottenham instead of Bayern Munich. On to Sarr. Sarr forward towards Kulusevski. Edge of the area is Maddison. Tries to switch it out to the left where there was a lot of space for Son, but Mazraoui did brilliantly and managed to get the ball into midfield. And Antony has combined well with Eriksen, who's then sent Rasmus Højlund away. He tried to get past Porro, who was chasing back. Manchester United have got it 10 yards outside the Tottenham penalty area. They move it wide to the right, and Mazraoui has it. Then on to Eriksen again. Deeper back into the midpoint of the Tottenham half to Lenny Yoro, and then all the way through to the centre circle where Victor Lindelof is making a rare start tonight. And then across the back line, Manchester United doing well to keep hold of possession. That was a moment that almost turned into an attack for United after defending a real good opportunity for Tottenham at the other end.
A player that I think has finally got going is Manchester United Chris Ugarte. I think he's been excellent breaking up play. He really reminds me of Ander Herrera. I think a player that Manchester United never really replaced. They're not always easy on the eye, but they're always in the right place. Their positioning's very, very good, and I think that's something that Manchester United have really missed. We saw last year they got an Amrabat in that position, didn't really ever get going, and I think there's a lot of players in this Manchester United team. I think this time next year, Sam, we'll see such a different Man United team. I really do. I don't think you'll see players like Lindelof getting any minutes. I like Lindelof because at least, you know, he wears his heart on his sleeve and he gives it 150%.
8 minutes gone, and Bayern Deer was being put under pressure as he received the ball back from Ugarte. As they look to try and play it down the right-hand side, it's a little bit inaccurate that from Mazraoui, and it goes through to Anthony, but can't quite hold on to it, and Tottenham win it back again. It goes to Fraser Forster, then to Dragoshin, who just kicks it down the line. It goes out of play, and I think that the opening sort of passage of play, especially from the two defences when they're clearing their lines, has sort of indicated where both these clubs are at the moment. Just a little bit scruffy, not quite as eloquent as they maybe need to be with the football. Here is Mazraoui, back to Eriksen, who has a chance to switch it out towards the far side. He drops it beautifully into the path of Dalot. Dalot trying to get the better of Pedro Porro, can't do it. It's nudged behind and it goes out for a corner for Manchester United. It's the first of the game, but that switch from Eriksen was the best ball we've seen tonight.
What a ball from Christian Eriksen on the right-hand side. Lovely diagonal ball to Dalot. Dalot looked like he was going inside first time to Rasmus Højlund. He had more time than he thought. It's interesting because a lot of the Spurs fan, small minority, are booing Christian Eriksen, which is quite surprising.
Now, I think a couple of them actually were giving him a bit of a clap as well, because he did a good job here, and obviously he's been through terrible things, so I think there's a little bit of warmth for him here still. Here he is, right-footed, in towards the near post, and Fraser Forster came towards it, didn't get there, and Basuma tried to head it behind. Eventually it comes back to Martinez, who fends it towards goal, nothing more than that, and it drops behind the net and goes out for a corner. A goal kick, which Fraser Forster rushes to take, then pumps it upfield. Again, it doesn't reach Kulusevski and goes back to Altay Biandir.
Do you know what? I can understand what Fraser Forster was trying to do. It wasn't the greatest of executions, but Kulusevski was 1v1 with Mazraoui down that right-hand side, and if he was able to execute that, it would have been caused a lot of problems for Manchester United.
It's a scruffy start, though, isn't it? I mean, there's a lot of looseness in possession.
There has been. It's been a lot of turnover, and you're right, Sam. I think in those back-line areas, a lot of the balls into the front line have just been hitting hope balls with no real intention into those wide areas. Manchester United are getting a lot of space down the left-hand side, though, with Dalot. I think if Christian Eriksen can keep getting on the ball and looking for that switch, it's wide open. Similarly to what I said about Heung-min Son in the first couple of minutes, Mazraoui was very pinched in on this right-hand side, and Heung-min Son had a lot of space, and I think Manchester United seems to have sorted that out. You can see Ruben Amorim down there really orchestrating every single move.
Mazraoui throws it in just short of the halfway line. 11 minutes gone. Tottenham 0, Manchester United 0. Amorim playing 3-4-2-1 as usual. In Pilsen he played with Ahmad and Rashford in the 2-10 positions behind Zirkzee. Tonight slightly different. It's Anthony and it's Fernandes who's on the ball now, and Højlund is on his bike running through the middle of the defence, gets into the area, tries to get it onto his left foot, loses control of it and lost his coordinates really, and then got robbed by Dragoshin, who takes it into the left full-back position and clears. Not very well, he gives it straight to Ugarte. Does a little Cruyff turn to get away from Dominic Solanke, and Manchester United are in possession again. The ball switched from left to right by Martinez, finds Eriksen hugging the touchline, approaching the right wing position for Manchester United. 0-0 the score on TalkSport. 11.5 minutes have been played. Mazraoui, Lindelof, and then Lenny Yoro gets it all the way back to his goalkeeper Altay Biandir, and Manchester United will build again. Mazraoui onto Anthony, across comes Archie Gray. He didn't connect with the ball, but did connect with Anthony, and it goes sliding out of play and away for a throw into United.
I'll tell you what, that chance that Manchester United just created, Christian Eriksen's had a really good start to this game. It was a fantastic pass from Bruno Fernandes. I think Højlund's first touch was really good. The second one just got caught under his feet quite a bit. He couldn't quite get it out to get the shot off.
Yeah, he just got lost with the ball under his feet, didn't he, as Fernandes whips the ball through the 6-yard box, and Højlund's not there to tap it home. I mean, he picked it up left-hand side, fed by Dalot. Immediately, without even looking or thinking, he just swished the ball through the 6-yard box, and it cut right through the middle of it. And Højlund was a couple of yards back from that, and there was no one else in red ready to take a gamble.
I'll tell you what, that was a fantastic ball from Bruno Fernandes. Sometimes I hate it when players do that. When I was playing and they just hit the ball into the box.
Oh, mistake by Martinez has allowed Pap Sarr to pinch the ball for Tottenham, high up inside United territory, and then Son cuts in right-footed, tries to curl it, it's well behind.
Yeah, decent play again coming in from that left-hand side. Heung-min Son's got a lot of space down there. I'm surprised they haven't been able to get the ball out to him a little bit quicker in those areas, because he can cause a lot of problems. He hasn't had the best season as of yet, Heung-min Son, but we know what he can do when he does pick up the ball in that left-hand side. 9 times out of 10 he bends it in the top corner and makes it look easy. But I think he's still going to cause a lot of problems. Mazraoui needs to get a little bit tighter to him.
Here is Mazraoui on the near side. 0-0 the score. We played just over 13 minutes on Talk Sport. Mount and Fernandes were the 2-10s on Sunday, but Mount picked up an injury, so that forced a change. Mainu came into midfield, did quite well, but he's not involved in the starting 11 tonight, as Son picks the ball up, tries to get beyond Mazraoui, who dispossesses him. Bruno Fernandes looks to bring it clear, and he's dispossessed by Maddison. Mazraoui then goes wiring into Maddison and gives away a free kick 10 yards short of the penalty area. Again, a series of turnovers. Again, a series of misplaced passes or poor clearances that have, I think, just sort of set the tempo for the game, really. It's been quite end-to-end already without any clear-cut chances as yet. 14 gone.
A lot of the turnover has been central. You can see there Bruno Fernandes picked up the ball. It's a really good pick-off by Basuma in those areas. This could cause a lot of problems to Manchester United. We spoke pre-game about them doing set pieces in their warm-up. We'll see how much they were doing right now.
Yep, they practiced them. Let's see if it's been perfected. They send it wide, Spurs, short to Son. He approaches the penalty area and comes infield back to Basuma, who's immediately engaged by Ugarte. Pedro Porro will strike one, and it took a little deflection, comes back to Solanke, and it's into the bottom corner behind the stranded Altay Biandir. He made the initial save and then just stood there and admired it as Solanke slapped the rebound home. Dominic Solanke with the goal. Manchester United concede, and all eyes are drawn to their goalkeeper.
I mean, fair play to Dom Solanke. I thought Tottenham Hotspur, I thought they were going to put this one into the box. James Maddison goes short, then it goes to Heung-min Son. They were quite patient, Tottenham. By the time it fell to Pedro Porro, the only thing I could think of being there, couldn't see the ball. It moves a little bit, but it's the second one. Like, I have no idea why he's just standing there. He's like looking to his left-hand side as if to say he's offside. But it's so strange. I mean, to be fair to him, the first one maybe swerved a little bit. And fair play to Dom Solanke for following in. But to me, that's really poor goalkeeping. The second one, he's got to get up way quicker than that. Fantastic finish from Dom Solanke. He has to get up quicker than that, the keeper. He has to. It's really poor goalkeeping. Really poor. Doesn't sort his feet out. So strange.
No anticipation of where that shot was going to go. He didn't even think about it going into the bottom left-hand corner, which was at his near post, before it already fizzed in off that post and put Tottenham in front.
I mean, I think it's a great finish from Dom Solanke. He hits it first time, but I think the concern is Biandir didn't even move. I think that was my concern, in the fact that it was almost like he just stood still. Such a strange goal.
Really strange goal. And I wonder what Andre Onana is sitting there thinking about on the Manchester United bench tonight. He's had his problems too, to be fair. Here on the right side, Højlund just about keeps it in. Tries to get to the edge of the box, and Anthony then takes over. The roar you heard was from the Spurs fans who thought that it had gone out of play. Back to Eriksen, then Anthony, and then he's harassed by Basuma, and the ball goes out and away for a Manchester United throw. 17 gone. Tottenham lead by a goal to nil. We were expecting goals tonight. Spurs always score here, and United always concede and score. I think they've scored in each of the 13 of the last 14 games, Manchester United, so Tottenham won't be resting on their laurels, especially with their record about throwing away leads in this and every other stadium they seem to visit.
There's so many elements to that goal though, Sam. When Tottenham took that short set piece with James Maddison, plays it to Son, Manchester United was so slow. I think they were anticipating going into the box, but even so, someone has to go out and put pressure on.
Space for Bruno Fernandes, wide on the left, fed by Eriksen into the box, a low ball into the near post, and actually again Rasmus Højlund was in there, and that was a beautiful ball for a striker to attack, but he was just a little bit behind it. He can't believe it, Fernandes. He's walking away shaking his head thinking, that's twice I've put the ball in a perfect area for a striker, but Højlund wasn't there.
Yeah, Rasmus Højlund is just flat on his heels there. It's a fantastic ball on the outside of the foot from Bruno Fernandes, again down that left-hand side. And Rasmus Højlund, to be fair, there needs to be more players into the box as well. It can't just be one player that Bruno Fernandes is aiming for. There should be players underneath as well. Eriksen should be following in, Anthony as well, but that's another great ball in, and that is the type of service that any number 9 would dream of in those areas.
I can't work out watching that goal back again, where the Manchester United defence thought that Solanke was offside. There was one or two hands that did go up, or whether they were so slow to get out to close down Pedro Porro They didn't realise what was going on behind them, and they were just flat-footed as the ball came back out into the penalty and no one reacted. The goalkeeper didn't react, the defence didn't react, the only one that did was Dom Solanke, and it's goal number 8.
Yeah, it was really strange, just a really strange versions of events. I think they were way flat on their heels, but then it's like when the ball went in the back of the net, everybody kind of just stared at each other. There was no real reaction, and they just took the ball and took it to the halfway line. Like I said, taking nothing away, I was quite critical of Dom Solanke pre-game because I said he hasn't scored enough goals. I think that you're always going to be judged by how many goals you score as a centre-forward.
8 goals in 22 now?
Yeah, doing a lot better. But I still don't think he's that player that you can guarantee double digits. I don't think he's a player that most Tottenham fans will be thinking we need to go and get Dom Solanke for 65 million.
Here is Dalot dispossessing Kulusevski far side. Manchester United in possession but behind. They trail to a goal from Dom Solanke. It's 1-0. Here is Dalot back out wide to Fernandes. Fernandes holding on to the ball, just feeding it back to Martinez, and United trying to get back into shape. But Tottenham have set up well. Mazraoui, Spence, Mazraoui into Højlund, then Anthony, and back down the right for Højlund. There was a foul there, was there, on Anthony or Højlund in the build-up to that? I think it was on Anthony by Jed Spence. It's going to be a free kick to Manchester United, just in from the touchline on the right-hand side. They want to take it short and get moving again. That 5-0 win at Southampton brought to an end a run of back-to-back Premier League defeats for Spurs. I mentioned it earlier, you can't trust them when they take the lead. I've been with them twice this season when they've thrown away 2-goal advantages and lost, so it happened here as recently as 2 Sundays ago when they lost to Chelsea. Manchester United won't be discouraged too much just yet, and they've had to come from behind in recent matches. They came from behind to win in the game on Sunday and on Thursday night in Pilsen. Here is Anthony trying to fight his way past Archie Gray, when he falls over rather easily, and Archie Gray, who is still a teenager, was certainly stronger, bigger and more dynamic there than Anthony, who was just wafted aside by the former Leeds defender.
Honestly, Sam, I know I spoke about Anthony pre-game, but I just don't see it at all. He's so poor. He's picking up the ball on this right-hand side, and Archie Gray has just completely outmuscled him for the ball. I know he's got that, what they call him the one-trick pony. He's got that when he comes in from the right-hand side. But if you're going to do that and you bend it in the back of the net all day long, but I think he just isn't good enough.
Are you saying that as Fernandes tries to fight with Pedro Porro for the ball inside the penalty area, and then the ball goes into the arms of Fraser Forster after Fernandes is brushed off the ball and ends up in a heap? Are you suggesting that the £95 million deal they did for him from Ajax was a little bit overpriced? Is that what you're saying?
I think that's the biggest understatement, Sam, you've ever said. I think any football fan, it's not easy being a professional footballer. I know that there's a lot of pressure and all those types of things. Manchester United are a massive club. But Anthony, any fan that watches the games, it doesn't matter what team you support, it's clearly obvious that he isn't at the level. He isn't at the level.
I mean, that 95 million euros, I mean, that's with add-ons, etc. I think it's 80 million from up front and then 95 over the course of the contract if certain criteria are met. But even so, 95 million euros is a fee reserved for the very, very best in the world. Here is Eriksen, edge of the area, left-footed drive towards the near corner, stopped by Basuma, who's filled in the middle of the defence there. Comes out towards the right-hand side of Anthony. Yoro floats it towards the far post. It takes a couple of deflections, I think, of a Tottenham player last, so Jed Spencer's got to rescue that from going out for a throw-in. He does that, then I don't know what Mazraoui's doing. He's dragged down Spence for absolutely no reason, and he's given away a free kick.
Mazraoui's lucky he hasn't got a booking there, because that's his second foul. It was silly. Jed Spence was going nowhere. And you mentioned the price tag, and I think Manchester United always get to pay a lot of money for players, don't they? Harry Maguire.
No one who plays in the Dutch league goes for 100 million euros.
No, they don't. But that's Erik ten Hag for you. Bringing the Ajax players, Malacia, he did that with him, Anthony, those types of players. Donny van der Beek as well, who's no longer with the club, obviously. But I think you look at these players and you look at the price tag, even removing the fact that that's how much Anthony cost, he doesn't look like he's anywhere near Sam. Anywhere near it.
Well, Gabriel Bonhor did say he was going to come and watch this game with us tonight. In his parlance, he would be suggesting that Anthony is miles off it.
Yeah, all day long. All day long.
He's on the breakfast show tomorrow morning with Shabana Hearn as they build up to the weekend. Here is Dalot flicking the ball with the outside of his right boot and sending it on to Fernandes, who gallops into opposition territory. Papsar brings him down from behind. That's a yellow card and a free kick on the edge of the box.
I'll have to see this one again, Sam, because this looks quite harsh, to be honest. I thought that Papsar looked like he was showing good speed, getting towards the ball. We'll have to take another look at it. I don't think there's much in that, to be honest, especially a booking.
Is it a tackle from behind? Yeah, because he does look like he connects with the back of Bruno Fernandes's ankle there more than he gets the football.
Yeah, but I don't think there's much in it. I mean, it's a great position for Manchester United to get a set piece. I think a booking is quite harsh, but it was good. Bruno Fernandes is making that third player run down that left-hand side. He's getting a lot of space down there, as is Dalot. This is a great position for Manchester United. Christian Eriksen to put it in to that danger area in and around the penalty spot.
Spurs 1, Manchester United 0. Manchester United have a free kick. It's wide on the left as they look at it. Just 5 or so steps out of the penalty area. There's a two-man wall which is diagonally in front of Fraser Forster's goal. Would be probably seen at a 45-degree angle to the goal. It'll be whipped in by Eriksen towards that near post, and it's not too far away. It just ripples the top of the net rather than underneath it. But it's going to be tricky to get the ball beyond the 6'7" goalkeeper as monster-like as Fraser Forster from that sort of range. Goal at Stamford Bridge, Alex Crook.
Chelsea 1, Shamrock Rovers 0. A nightmare for the Shamrock right back Joshua Honohan. He tried to head the ball back to his own goalkeeper. He nodded it over the goalkeeper, and there was Mark Guiu stooping to head home. Chelsea 1, Shamrock 0.
Yeah, Mark Guiu scored in Almaty last week in Kazakhstan when Chelsea went out there to play in the Europa Conference League. And it's a little bit warmer at Stamford Bridge tonight. Given away by... Oh, Mazraoui's in trouble here. He's gone in late on Jed Spence after a poor ball to him. In fairness, it was short to Mazraoui. He went to try and dive in, but Jed Spence was getting there first. He mistimed his challenge. He's given away a free kick, and he too gets a yellow card.
Yeah, I mentioned the one previously, Sam. I was surprised that's his third one now. He's late to it. I think it was Christian Eriksen actually played him that ball, and I'd be absolutely raging if I was Mazraoui. The under-hit pass has made Jed Spence be able to get there before him. Another good position. I mean, the game has got no tempo to it at all because it's so stop-start. Yeah. The amount of free kicks we've seen, you know, it's been pretty poor, I'd say.
Maddison to take it near side. Sends it short to Son. Son into the penalty area, looking for Kulusevski. Turns away from Fernandes too easily and smashes the ball towards the near post. It's a save by Altay Biandir. Picked up on the right side by Ugarte, who's trying to get it clear, but runs into Son. It goes out of play and it's away for a Manchester United throw. But that turn from Kulusevski, as good as it was, he should never really have got beyond Bruno Fernandes there.
No, another set piece again. Manchester United are so flat on their heels, and I mentioned it pre-game about the set pieces they're doing in the warm-up, and it just seems pointless because every single time Tottenham Hotspur get a set piece, Man United are flat on their heels. They don't react to it. They're not proactive enough. Ben there does a really good job on that near post to get to it. But again, it was a good turn from Kulusevski, but Bruno Fernandes in that position has to do better, and if not, double up with him in those positions.
Well, Leanne, you and I were watching those warm-ups, and we were watching them deal with balls into the box. Tottenham haven't even done that yet. Here is Kulusevski down the left-hand side, trying to get the ball back to his captain, but he ran into an offside position on the outside, and now they've given the ball away, but I don't think Anthony's going to get there. Basuma is. Tied it up really well for Tottenham. And they're in possession again, just left of the centre circle. Yeah, that drill that they were doing was all about balls coming into the box, heading it out, or dealing with a ball in behind the high line. And that's not happened. It's all short and sharp from Tottenham, and that's what's catching them flat-footed.
Yeah, it is. And I think you can see Tottenham have different ways of getting to goal. I think it's interesting because James Maddison has barely touched the ball. I think Basuma and Sarr have done a really good job in those areas, defending positionally. But we're not seeing James Maddison being able to pick up the ball underneath. I think Ugarte's doing a really good job in those areas of kind of sweeping things up. But you can see Tottenham kind of had the momentum since that goal. You can see it settled everybody down a little bit. Manchester United look a little bit rattled, but they still have enough quality, this Manchester United team, to make something happen. Bruno Fernandes, I said it at the weekend. Unfortunately, Ahmad's on the bench tonight, but I think Bruno Fernandes and Ahmad are the only ones that really have that type of quality that can make something happen.
Yeah, they look a bit ragged to me, Manchester United. 27.5 minutes gone. Chelsea are playing Shamrock Rovers in the Conference League tonight. Alex Crook is there. We'll get to him in just a second because United are on the attack. Mazraoui gets it back to Lenny Yoro. In fact, we'll go there now. It's a goal. Talk Sports, Alex Crook.
Chelsea 1, Shamrock 1. The 3,000 travelling Dubliners going wild in the aisle. And what a moment for Marcus Poom, son of the Derby County cult hero, Mark Poom. It was a corner from the right. Poom on the volley, took a deflection. Chelsea 1, Shamrock 1.
Wild in the aisle. Has he been watching Supermarket Sweep? Here is Dalot down the left-hand side, trying to get into the box. He tries to funnel the ball through the 18-yard area. It's blocked by Porro, comes back to him, and then it's blocked again and cleared to halfway by Tottenham. Outside of the centre circle is Yoro, and then on to Mazraoui. He's being chased by Basuma, who's just stronger, more athletic, wins the ball quicker. And Manchester United looking a little bit off the pace here, Leanne. Here's Jed Spence hemmed in into the left corner of the field. He's running into a cul-de-sac, but comes up with a trick to find Archie Gray, who's then giving it away. But Rasmus Højlund doesn't get there, and then it breaks to Dalot, edge of the penalty area. He tries to centre it into the box, not to anyone in particular, and Dragusin clears.
Yeah, I think you've got to give credit to Basuma. I think he's been excellent. He's been first to everything, second to everything, getting amongst it. Mazraoui, when he's getting the ball, he's out-muscled him. Manchester United have got a lot of space down this right-hand side. I've said it many, many times, and they're not really capitalising on it.
Jed Spence, big night for him tonight, having to play at left-back in the absence of Destiny Udogie. He's only played 186 minutes across 7 appearances in all competitions for Tottenham before tonight. I mean, the good news for him, I suppose, Leanne, is that he's got Anthony to mark. Here is Mazraoui over to the far side. That was me just enhancing Leanne's view, not my own. Dalot slides it back towards the edge of the area. Comes to Anthony. Left-footed shot blocked by Archie Gray. That would have been a good moment. Back in it goes to the penalty area. And again, it's just overhit this time by Fernandes, and it goes out of play and away for a goal kick. But that's Manchester United's first shot on target.
Yeah, do you know what? Archie Gray did really well there, because Anthony was in a really good position just outside the 18-yard box centrally. And Anthony, to be fair to him, caught it really well. It was a fantastic block.
1-0, half an hour gone. Here is Kulusevski over on the far side. Infield it goes to Basuma. Tottenham leading through Solanke's goal after a mistake for Altay Biandia, who is the Manchester United goalkeeper tonight, in for Onana. Usually gets to play in this Carabao Cup competition. I'm not entirely sure Ruben Amorim will be delighted with the way he has started the game. I mean, he set the tone by kicking the ball straight into touch, didn't he? And then the reaction to the Solanke effort, the shovel straight out into the penalty area, and then the failure to react, has sort of underscored what has been quite a tepid performance by him and Manchester United, really. I think they've looked scrappy.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest, at the weekend, the Manchester derby, although Manchester United got the result, it was a really scrappy game. It wasn't the best performance from Manchester United, but that obviously goes out the window once they get that win to a certain degree. But I think, you know, I understand to a certain degree why Ruben Amorim has made that goalkeeping decision, because he wants to give Biandia an opportunity, but that one might come back to bite him, because you're right, Sam, he hasn't looked comfortable from the get-go. Whenever the ball's being played back to him, he doesn't look confident, and on that goal, so flat on his heels.
Lindelof skipped past by Son far too easily. Solanke goes through the middle and waits for the cross. It's worked out to Porro, who's on the right side of the United penalty area. Kulusevski gets hold of it and feeds it into the area. It's aimed towards Solanke, headed away by Yoro. Picked up by Højlund, who just can't get the ball under control. It comes down inside the Manchester United half, but it comes down for Kulusevski, who skips past Ugarte and then past Dalot and into the right wing position. And then Dalot recovers well and manages to clear from the left full-back position. Fernandes being harassed by Sarr. They just look better, Tottenham. They just look more at it, more intense, more dynamic, fitter, sharper, and on top of the game. And they look physically stronger than Manchester United.
They do. To be fair to Dalot there, I thought he did a really good job, because it looked like Kulusevski was in down that right-hand side. He got the better of him and he covered around really well. But I think right now, Manchester United look tired. Like, they look flat on their heels. They're second and third to every single ball. And I think that goal for Tottenham, before that, Tottenham weren't playing their greatest football either. And I think since then, they seem to have a little bit more momentum. They have a lot of the passing. They're popping it around to each other, a little bit more confident. Manchester United need to do a better job at setting traps to be able to have the ball turn over, because we saw in the first 20 minutes or so the ball was turning over quite a lot centrally.
picked up by Porro in behind Fernandes. He slides it out towards this left-hand side, and Son was racing forward. He couldn't reach it, but Altay Biandir comes out and slides the ball into his chest and managed to gobble up for Manchester United. But again, Porro getting into that sort of half space behind the pressing line, able to switch the ball from right side of the centre circle towards this left-hand side. If you've got a better ball in, it's straight through to Son, and now they've won it back again. Lovely exchange of passes between Kulusevski and Son. It's on the edge of the penalty area, they're fighting for it. Spurs trying to emerge with it, they do. Kulusevski into the box, tries to turn it back. Sarr's waiting, it's steered towards goal. Ugarte stabs it just wide of the post. It was almost an own goal. It ends up being a terrific block, and it's out for a corner. But how on earth are they winning the ball on the edge of the penalty area? 3 red shirts fighting with 2 white ones. The ball's on the floor, it's like a rugby scrum, and Tottenham create a chance.
Yeah, Manchester United are all over the place, to be fair. To be fair to Ugarte, he does a really good job. The only one kind of battling on the edge of the box, and then in the end, he's the one that clears it wide. And he's quite fortunate it doesn't actually go in as an own goal, because he didn't really know exactly where he was on the field at all, and he just kind of lunges at it to stop it from getting to a Tottenham player.
Corner to Spurs on the near side. It's going to be taken by Son. Manchester United will be delighted if they go in at half-time, only 1-0 down, so that they can reorganise and adjust here, because they look a little bit all at sea. Here is Son, 2 hands in the air, ready to send this corner into the box. Remember, Manchester United's Achilles heel has been conceding set pieces. Hold on a second, there's a pause here because the referee, John Brooks, wants to go and have a word with 1 or 2 who are just getting involved in something physical. Rasmus Højlund and Solanke being told off. They're going to be on the naughty list. Careful, boys, Santa won't fill your stockings. Corner kick. Son to take it. That'll be a right-footed delivery in front of where the Manchester United fans are situated. It's helped in towards the near post. It's cleared away, comes back out. Dragusin gets first contact. Then Solanke gets hold of it, tries to turn, goes down in the area after contact from Martinez, and then it's waved away. And then as Manchester United try and clear, it's given straight to Bissouma, and Tottenham on the front foot again, and Porro winds up an effort. He shoots from miles out and doesn't catch it, goes behind. But this is turning out to be a poor 35 minutes from Manchester United. Let's go off to Stamford Bridge. Alex Crook.
Chelsea 2, Shamrock 1. It's the second of the night for Mark Guiu, but it's another absolute gift. This time it was Daniel Cleary, the Shamrock defender, who was trying to pass the ball back to his goalkeeper. It was too short. Guiu got there first, rounded the keeper and found the far corner. Chelsea 2, Shamrock 1.
Manchester United can't get out of their own half at this moment. And Mazraoui sends it long up to Højlund, who gets bullied by Dragusin. And Dragusin actually hasn't been great for Tottenham since signing. He's found it difficult to get in the team. When he has got in the team, he's looked a little bit suspect. But he's had the measure of Rasmus Højlund so far in this game. Here is Anthony picking it up halfway, trying to feed Fernandes. Fernandes is in behind here, and Tottenham have left the gap. Fernandes across the face of goal. Why didn't he hit it? It's cleared away by Spurs. Back to Fernandes on the left side again. He gets towards the edge of the penalty area. Rasmus Højlund is waiting for the delivery. It goes towards him, but not to him. It comes back out of the box. Lindelof, then Lenny Yoro. 10 yards outside the Tottenham penalty area. Lindelof feeds Fernandes. Fernandes, his strike bends towards the far corner. It's wide of the target. And it goes behind and out for a goal kick. 37 played, Tottenham 1, Manchester United 0.
Such bad decision making. I love Bruno Fernandes, but I think got to give credit to Anthony. It was a fantastic ball, and someone of Bruno Fernandes' quality, I'd expect to hit that first time. The ball bounced lovely over his left shoulder to be able to hit it on the volley, and he has that in his locker. Then eventually when the ball comes to him, he hits it with the instep, really like a P-roller going towards Fraser Forster, when the better option was outside on the left hand side to Dalot.
Here is Solanke trying to hold the ball up and feed it into Son. And then Yoro reads that situation just in front of the halfway line into Spurs territory, wins it back for United and looks to build again. 37 gone. And Manchester United trying to find a little bit of momentum, trying to dig themselves out of what was a really terrible first half an hour.
I think we'll see half-time substitutions from Ruben Amorim, if I'm honest, Sam. I think you can see when they conceded, he went into the dugout with his head in his hands because he can't quite believe what he's seeing. Those are the things you work on the training ground, but that comes from the intensity for me. There's not much Ruben Amorim can do on the sideline when they can't defend a set piece, and they've moved it 3 or 4 times to the right-hand side. I think he's going to make subs.
Fernandes trying to run in behind Pedro Porro. The header comes back to Højlund, who hits it, but it's a snapshot and he never gets any real purchase on the ball, and he fires it well wide of Fraser Forster's goal, and it remains 1-0. There's one or two of those Manchester United players looking a little bit lost, one of them or two of them looking a bit tired, and actually I think Mazraoui, who's been very good actually since signing in the summer, has looked out of sorts for the first time. Ugarte was accused of a foul on Maddison. The ball went to Son anyway. Across comes Martinez and gets there ahead of Solanke. Manchester United need a turning point in this game. They need something to spark them into life. Quick word or to Ugarte from John Brooks. I think he was probably going to might have booked him on under different circumstances for his challenge on Maddison, but allowed the play to continue because it spilt to Son and Tottenham had the advantage. 39. 1-0 to Tottenham Hotspur in those white shirts with dark blue sleeves. The Manchester United fans have been in good voice so far this evening. It's the Tottenham fans, though, who at this moment are thinking about the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, the Carabao competition, which takes place in the first weekend in March this year. It's a little bit later than it has been in recent years. Here is Son, curling the ball towards the edge of the area. Space for Maddison, who fell over as he received it. It was in such a good position. Manchester United were cut open by that ball from Son. And we're lucky that Maddison lost his footing. Comes back to Sarr, 10 yards outside the box. Out wide to Pedro Porro. He approaches the penalty area. Right-footed cross into Solanke, away by Lindelof, and then further clear now out towards the middle of the half, but Tottenham apply enough pressure and have enough men stationed within yards of the penalty area to win it back and continue the intensity of this attack. Here is Maddison down the left, trying to get into the box. He forces it to Kulusevski, wants to get it back again. Maddison tries to feed Son. Son edge of the area, wanted it on his left foot, pokes it back through. They've lost Kulusevski, he's chasing the ball, but Altay comes out and gobbles it up before it can reach the Swede.
I'll tell you what, Sam, it's really poor for Manchester United. They look at the body language of the players. They just don't look at it at all. I mean, fair play to Tottenham. I think James Maddison got himself into a fantastic position there. And Manchester United are really lucky that he lost his footing, because I think his second touch would have been going towards goal. I mean, Kulusevski's also getting a lot of joy. He came in from the left-hand side before and received it inside the box. Manchester United are giving away the ball far too easily.
The only player coming away from this game for Manchester United with credit at the moment is Ugarte. Here's Højlund, who was fed by Ugarte. Up to the edge of the penalty area. Fernandes with a decent ball to the far post again, and no one there. Now it's Eriksen who was closest to it, just couldn't get there in time. And went to stab the ball goalwards, but he was just behind it. But the idea from Fernandes was great. And I tell you what, that's three great balls that he's played into the box, Fernandes, and no one there to capitalise. I
mean, these are gifts. I know we're in the holiday season and Spirit Sound, but he's literally wrapping up those presents and putting them right in there, and no one's on the end of them. As a centre forward, they are like a dream. And it was interesting because I thought Christian Eriksen could have actually made that, and it was almost like, and then you've got Rasmus Højlund pointing to Bruno Fernandes saying, play it to my right foot, play it to my right foot, make the movement. He's played 3 balls now in a really dangerous area, and not one Manchester United player's on the end of it. It's not good enough.
Well, it's an opportunity this for some of the fringe players to make a claim to be involved more often. Lindelof doesn't play very often, he's starting tonight. Eriksen again off and on the bench for Amorim, starting this evening. Anthony starting this evening, and with what's happened with Garnacho and Rashford, you'd expect him to grab this with both hands. He has just switched the ball from right to left, out to Dalot, back into Fernandes, who's on the edge of the penalty area, attacking the Tottenham goal. It's another decent ball. Mazraoui gets on the end of it, but can only steer it centrally, can't get behind it, and it goes out for a corner to Manchester United with 3 minutes to go before the half. And I must say, if I'm Ruben Amorim, I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm buzzing because I can't believe the scoreline is only Tottenham 1, Manchester United 0.
Yeah, I know, but I think, to be fair to Manchester United, when they're getting a lot of joys when they're switching the point of attack quickly, you could see there was a fantastic ball from the right-hand side again from Anthony, and then Manchester United are getting into those areas, and they're just throwing in the box.
Here is Eriksen. I mean, it's just an awful corner. It goes right the way through the 6-yard box, and Jed Spence helps them out by kneeing it behind, and it goes out over on the far side. I mean, United have had a couple of really good chances, all of them crafted by Bruno Fernandes, and they haven't taken them. It's a different story at Stamford Bridge, Alex Crook.
Shamrock won and Kunku went through on goal. He was denied by a brilliant slide tackle. The loose ball fell kindly for Kiernan Dewsbury Hall to fire low into the bottom corner. Chelsea 3, Shamrock 1.
Corner kick for Manchester United, taken by Eriksson. Another deep one to the far post. Lindelof trying to keep it alive. Martinez inside the area, turns, spins, sends it back through the 6-yard box. No one there. Again, over everyone's head. And it goes out of play and away for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. 2 minutes to go before the end of this first 45 minutes. I just wonder what Ruben Amorim is thinking, and I wonder what he is plotting for half-time. What would you do?
Bring on Ahmad, for sure. I mean, Lindelof's just gone down there. He might have to be bringing him off due to an injury. I'd have to wait and see. For me, I think Rasmus Højlund, like, in a Manchester United shirt, I think he's one of those players that coming off the bench, he seems to have more of an impact. Whenever he starts games, he rarely gets in amongst, he rarely scores goals when he's on there from the beginning. I just don't think he's got enough pace in those areas. I think Dragoson's doing a really good job. But he doesn't look it, though. You can be fast, Sam, but not fast thinking. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? It's the fast thinking.
Because he don't look fast.
Because he can run the 100 metres in 11 seconds, in under 11 seconds.
He doesn't look like that when he's out there, though, does he?
But I think that's true not only when he's out of possession and he's chasing things, Leanna. He doesn't realise that there's an opportunity to go and get whatever it is that he needs to get, or press when he needs to. I think the other issue is that when he's in possession of the ball, it takes him too long to make the right decision. He holds on to it for too long. Is that something that is surmountable with coaching, or is that innate in your makeup?
No, I think it can be coached, because for me, I wasn't the most speediest of players, but I was quick in the mind, and I think you either get one or the other. I think with Rasmus Højlund, he's still young, but I think the fact that you're asking him to lead the line for Manchester United, I don't think he's there yet. Same as Garnacho. Garnacho is being asked to kind of play for Manchester United from the beginning. As a youngster, he was very raw, and that can only get you so far, and it looks like Man United are having to make a substitution.
Well, Victor Lindelof, I mean, I don't think he'll be around for much longer anyway, but he's off. And Johnny Evans is coming on for Manchester United. I mean, it is a rare start for Victor Lindelof, and it's another injury for him, and he's had a lot over the course of the last year or so.
He has, and like I said, with Lindelof, he's nowhere near good enough, but I think what he does is he gives his all, and that's all you can ask for. He's not picking the team, he's going out there and doing his best. It's interesting, the substitutions that Ruben Amorim makes, because I'm bringing on Harry Maguire at this moment in time, potentially, and it's some of the substitutions that he does make are quite questionable, and I'll put it down to the fact that he's still trying to kind of work out, I wouldn't even say work out his best 11, because a lot of these players will be nowhere near the squad next year.
Yeah, I think he's trying to work out who he can rely on right now for what, isn't he?
Yeah, but Harry Maguire, who I've been quite critical of him in recent years, I think he's been excellent for Manchester United. He was brilliant at the weekend in a back three, so you've got to give credit where it's due.
Maybe he's saving him for the Bournemouth game.
Maybe, but this is a cup. You know, it's a competition that...
They're not going to win the league, are they?
Don't be out of order. No, I'm joking. Yeah, of course not. I know.
They're not getting in the top four either, are they? So maybe they should be targeting this competition.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, what type of team selection is this? And I think, again, I like Ruben Amorim. I like what he's doing. I think what he stands for, he's a manager that Manchester United have been crying out for years. He makes decisions, he stands by them, and he speaks to the media, and he expresses why he's made them, and then it gets put to bed. But then again, look at some of the decisions substitution-wise that he's making. It doesn't make sense to me, some of these.
Well, you know, Spurs' form isn't great. They've won just one of the last 6, 2 wins in 9, but they're leading here by 1-0. They've got horrendous injuries, but Manchester United changed 5. Here's Eriksson, though, trying to do something about that. His shot takes a deflection. Another grey block comes off a defender. There was half-hearted appeals for handball. I think it actually hit a Manchester United hand rather than a Tottenham one, and it goes out towards the far side. Then Euro brings it forward, back out towards the left, taken down by Dalot. There was space for Fernandes there. He decided not to pass it into that channel. He then looked for Højlund, but couldn't feed him because he hit it straight at Maddison. Then Manchester United win it back through Ugarte. There's space for Anthony here, and then Ugarte again has it, and then Eriksson, and then out towards the left and Fernandes. They think, where is the whistle? 2 minutes have been added on and played here at the end of the first half. Mazraoui has it down the right wing, looking to try and get into the box. Across comes Spence. It goes out of play. There is the half-time whistle. And Spurs' hopes of ending their trophy drought are still alive. The prospect of winning here given a boost by the opening goal, which was scored by Dominic Solanke, his 8th in 22 appearances for Tottenham Hotspur. But such is their propensity to chuck away promising positions, even the pollsters are reluctant to call it for the Whites right now. And that's despite the fact that Manchester United have had a terrible first 45 minutes. Big second half to come. I'm sure there'll be changes for Manchester United. Tottenham 1, Manchester United 0.
Well, Leanne Sanderson, Spurs will go in, happy they're leading, frustrated they're not leading by more. And that should give Manchester United a little bit of confidence that they can do something, but they've got to be better.
They have, and I think the only player for Manchester United right now that can go up at half-time with his head held high is Ugarte. I think he's been excellent. I think it's been a really poor performance from Manchester United. I think Ruben Amorim will make substitutions at half-time. I think he has to. Manchester United are nowhere near good enough. Haven't been all season, even before Ruben got there. But when he keeps putting Ahmad, I understand trying to protect certain players, but at this moment in time, just let him play. He's Manchester United's best player at this moment in time, and him being on the bench, Kobbie Mainoo as well. So I'm hoping that Amorim, will make substitutions at half-time, because it needs to happen. Mazraoui's probably played his worst game he's played for Manchester United, but I will give him the benefit of the doubt because he's been brilliant since he come in there, and no one expected him to do as well as he has. But overall, it's not been good enough.
Do you not think this is made for Garnacho? After what's happened, he's on the bench. Bring him on, save United. He's back on side with Amorim and the fans. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see the type of reaction. It leads me to believe that Alejandro Garnacho must have shown something to Ruben Amorim for him to even be in the squad. So I expect to see Garnacho coming into this game. Ahmad and Garnacho and Kobbie Mainoo will make Manchester United better. They will be making them better from the start, Adrian, but they haven't been selected. But they're going to have to hope. I mean, he's had to make that substitution with Lindelof at the end there, going off that injury, and Johnny Evans coming into the game. Not a player that I'm sure Ruben Amorim would have wanted to have to make a change in that position. So right now, like we were saying on commentary, Manchester United can win this competition and go further. So it leads me to believe, why are they leaving off their best players at the start? It makes no sense.
Quick one on the goal, because it was a free kick. You said in commentary that Spurs were patient with the free kick. You thought they were going to swing it in, but they were playing it around. Porro has a shot. Keeper parries. I think you were both harsh on the keeper in commentary, because Solanke's hit it really well and it's gone in off the post. I think the keeper might just think it's going wide, but it's gone in off the post in a flash. So I don't know. I mean,
do you think Ederson and Alisson and Kelleher would have?
I think Ederson lets it in. Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Nah, no chance. No chance. I think the fact that he was flat on his heels. I mean, as a goalkeeper, your positional awareness, you should know where you are, and he's literally not even known where the ball is going. It's like he thought he was going wide. I think you're right, but
he did just stand there, and that didn't look good.
No, it didn't. And as a goalkeeper, I mean, sometimes goalkeepers dive after the ball. I'm not asking him to do that, but I think from the moment he stepped foot on this pitch tonight, he made that mistake in his first kick. He's never looked confident. I think Solanke's finish is very good, taking nothing away from that. But overall, I think Manchester United look tired, flat on their heels, and I think an injection of someone off the bench. I think Ruben Amorim is that type of coach that will make substitutions at half-time.
Chelsea got a fourth. We'll be there for half-time shortly, but I must bring this up. There's a big moment in that first half in commentary from you, Leanne Sanderson. 36 minutes, 41 seconds. You actually said, I've got to give Anthony some credit.
Yeah, credit where it's due.
Wow.
No, but the thing is, Adrian,
Never thought I'd hear that.
No, but I will give credit where it's due, and that's fair. Like, if someone does something good, whether it's Manchester United, Tottenham, whatever team, then I'll give credit where it's due. But Anthony has been so poor since he came to Manchester United, and again, he should know that himself, surely. He must look around and think, how am I starting in this Manchester United team? And he's been that type of player that I think Jadon Sancho didn't get given the opportunities that Anthony was given, and that's the reality.
There you go. No, listen, they're 1-0 down. They need to do something or they're going out. And Spurs will be into the semi-final. Spurs leading Man United 1-0 live on TalkSport. Let's head to Stamford Bridge. It's half-time and a big first half for a certain Chelsea player. Here's TalkSport's Alex Crook.
Absolutely. Chelsea 4, Shamrock 1, right on half-time. Mark Guiu, the star of this first half, completed his hat-trick. It was a brilliant cross from Noni Madueke after a short corner on the right-hand side and a fine header into the far corner. It was Guiu who opened the scoring on 22 minutes, seizing on a poor backwards header from Shamrock fullback Joshua Honohan to nod into an empty net. Guiu got his and Chelsea's second. 12 minutes later, another calamity in the visiting defence. Daniel Cleary this time trying to pass the ball back to his goalkeeper. It didn't get there. Guiu rounded the keeper and found the far corner. In between, actually, Marcus Poom had got Shamrock back on level terms. It was a corner from the right-hand side, and the son of the former Derby and Arsenal goalkeeper, Mark Poom, volleyed in left-footed via a deflection. That joy was short-lived. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall got himself on the score sheet 5 minutes before half-time, and Kunku denied initially by an excellent sliding challenge from the Shamrock captain Roberto Lopez, but a loose ball fell kindly for Dewsbury Hall, and he picked out the bottom corner, and there was still time in stoppage time for Guiu to complete his hat-trick. Chelsea cruising. They're going to maintain their 100% record in this competition. As for Shamrock, as it stands, they're missing out on a place in the top 8 by a single point. That will mean they'll have to go through a playoff in order to qualify for the round of 16. It's Chelsea 4, Shamrock 1.
And it's not good news elsewhere for UK sides. TNS are being held 2-2. They've led twice, but both times they led, the lead lasted only a minute. 2 apiece they need to win. And Hearts, remarkably, are 1 down at home to the Moldovan side, Petro Cup. A terrible goal they gave away as well. If they do get the right result and make it into a playoff, Hearts, it'll be the first time they've gone beyond Christmas in Europe since 1989. But it's Hearts 0, Petro Cup of Moldova 1 at half-time. Let's update you from the darts at Ali Pali, Mark Wilson.
Yeah, first game of the night saw Welshman Nick Kenny keep alive his hopes of retaining his tour card as he wrapped up a comprehensive 3-0 win over American Stowe Bunce. Kenny took out the opening set 3-1 and stepped in to wrap up the second set after Bunce missed 3 darts to level up the match. Victory was sealed in magnificent style with a superb 170 checkout on the ball. That sets up a second round tie with Raymond van Barneveld. Canadian Matt Campbell leads his game with Mensah Suljovic. He took out the opening set with some fine finishing before Suljovic stepped in after Campbell missed multiple darts to make it 2-0. That was 1-1, but we've just seen Campbell reel off 3 legs on the spin to take out the third set to lead 2-1. Match continues over on TalkSport 2, live from the Alexandra Palace. It's Mensah Suljovic 1, Matt Campbell 2.
WDC update on TalkSport with Village Ho Ho Hotels. Dine out, stay, work out and play this festive season at one of 33 cracking UK locations.
And game day is back on Saturday, 11 a.m. with Reshmin Chowdhury. Aston Villa Man City is the lunchtime commentary at 12:30 on TalkSport 2. At the same time, Portsmouth against Coventry is live from the Championship. Game day live around the grounds with me. We've got Dean Ashton at West Ham, Alvin Martins at Brentford. I'll be at Brentford as well. All the goals as they go in, taking you around the grounds as we do on a Saturday afternoon. Ipswich Newcastle is the live game on TalkSport 2. That's not on UK TV. And don't miss Sunday session, 1:30. Sam Matface, your host, and he'll bring you all the news from plenty of games in the Premier League this Sunday. It really is a terrific show. 5 hours, full-on football, keeping you updated, and they do it with passion and excitement as well. 1-0 to Spurs here. Let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get money back as a free bet up to £10 if one leg of your Football 5 Plus acca lets you down. Pre-match straight line accas only. Odds are 3-1 or greater. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Spurs are 1-0 up. They're 11-20 to win it. The draw 14-5. United 11-2. Those are the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18 plus. GambleAware.org.
And don't forget, this Saturday TalkSport brings you commentary of the huge unified heavyweight world title rematch between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury, live from Saudi Arabia. You can also watch Usyk Fury 2 on DAZN pay-per-view, and the cost for the fight varies depending on what DAZN subscription you buy.
Kick off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18 plus. GambleAware.org. Access to premium sports betting insights just got easier with Sporting Life Plus, and it's all completely free. Join today for exclusive insights from Willie Mullins, unlimited replays of all UK and Irish races, and track your favourite horses, jockeys and trainers with Sporting Life's My Stable Tracker. Plus, get early access to premium articles and expert tips. Sporting Life Plus, unmissable content delivered daily, all completely free. Search Sporting Life Plus to find out more.
We're into extra time for PPI, and Harkus Parker could still get you the win. If you had a loan with PPI and didn't make a claim or were denied, there's still a chance to reclaim your money. Harkus Parker is the commercial litigation dream team you need on your side to recover what's due to you, and it's completely no win, no fee. Plus, they'll do the fancy footwork to help you reclaim exactly what you're owed. Time to end PPI once and for all. Contact Harkus Parker now by texting PPI for free to 66777.
For your Christmas veg, Lidl's deal is immense, because you can grab each one for just 8p. Get British carrots, parsnips, Brussels sprouts, Swedes and 2 kilograms of white potatoes. Oh, and shallots too, in Lidl stores now. Have a magical Christmas with Lidl. Offers valid 19th to the 24th of December, subject to availability, selected stores, GB only.
Carabao Sport is uniquely formulated to keep you hydrated, whether you're at the gym, running the streets or bossing the midfield. Available in berry or orange flavours. Carabao Sport tastes great and is Informed Sport accredited. For a chance to see your team in this season's Carabao Cup, look for special packs of Carabao Sport in MFG, the largest independent forecourt operator in the UK. Carabao Sport, the perfect assist. UK 18 plus. See drinkcarabao.co.uk/win tickets to enter by 28th of Feb 25 and for details.
Yo, football fans, listen up. BetMGM brings Vegas entertainment to the biggest games and the biggest names. Because when it comes to betting on football, we're in a league of our own, baby. Offers? Oh, you know we got offers. Like bet £10 and get £40 in free bets. BetMGM, it's showtime.
New customers only. Wagering requirements and conditions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
TalkSport Breakfast in partnership with Arnold Clark. We guarantee the best used car deals in the UK. Move up through the gears every morning with top of the range sports edition, ABS, story breaking news, and more gold talk to the gallon. Plus a stellar lineup of super celebrity sports guests as standard. TalkSport Breakfast every weekday morning from 6 on TalkSport with Arnold Clark. We guarantee the best used car deals in the UK.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave, on DAB, online and on your smart speaker. Live football coverage that's beyond compare.
A quite fabulous goal.
The League Cup live on TalkSport.
But it's only a fool who doesn't want to lift a trophy at Wembley. A place in the semis up for grabs tonight.
Pedro Porro will strike one, and it took a little deflection, comes back to Solanke, and it's into the bottom corner behind the stranded Altay Biandir. He made the initial save and then just stood there and admired it as Solanke slapped the rebound home. Dominic Solanke with the goal. Manchester United concede, and all eyes are drawn to their goalkeeper. Kulusevski turns away from Fernandes too easily and smashes the ball towards the near post. It's a save by Altay Biandir. Fernandes, his strike bends towards the far corner. It's wide of the target.
Well, Spurs 1-0 up. A couple of things to mention from the crowd. Shortly after Spurs went 1-0 up, the Spurs fans sang, "We want Levy out." So it doesn't matter if they're winning or losing, they do feel the same way. A sizable chunk of the Spurs fans sang that as well. And in that first half, United fans had a banner and it said, "Excuses, Terrar Marcus." And it's actually a reference to a statement from a United fan in 1989 who wanted Alex Ferguson out at that time. And that banner read, 3 years of excuses and it's still bad. I put bad in, it was another word used. Terrar Fergie. Quite a famous banner of its time. And of course, we know what Fergie went on to do. There is more on that story on the website, talksport.com. But Leanne Sanderson, the United fans have turned, it seems, on Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, I think ultimately, they were behind him up until the other day. I think all Manchester United fans want is Rashford to succeed. I think having a player that's born and bred, coming through the academy, I think that stands for something. And I think all the Manchester United fans have wanted him to succeed. And when you do stuff like that, I know he said he won't come out and almost badmouth the club, but I think sometimes actions speak louder than words. And I think, like I said, he's not letting his football do the talking. He's not available for selection because of his actions off the pitch, and it's not good enough. And when he's on the pitch, he's sulking around, he doesn't look like he wants to be there. And then some people say, he doesn't look happy. All these different things, we'll find out what it is then. How about we all find out what it is? You know what I mean? Like, all these excuses that I feel like are being made for him. the same excuses are not allowed for other people, and I think it divides. Marcus Rashford divides a lot of people because some people say, oh, you know, there's a player in there. To be fair, if you're asking me who would rather out there, Anthony or Rashford, I'd probably have Rashford.
Yeah, it's no brainer, isn't it, really?
But that's a very low bar when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
It's a low bar. But like I said, all Manchester United fans wanted Rashford to succeed. When you start doing stuff, it does make me sad though, Adrian. I think it's a very sad ending to something that didn't need to end that way.
Garnacho has just taken his place on the bench. One of the subs, of course. He's back. Man United have been out there a couple of minutes. They're kicking a ball around. Spurs just emerging from the tunnel. Now, very quick word. Archie Gray's 18. He's centre-back. He's played full-back for Leeds, midfield for Leeds. He's centre-back.
Yeah.
It's a...
I think the fact that he's out-muscling a lot of the Manchester United players when they're getting in amongst it. He's gone up against Bruno a couple of times and he just looks really comfortable in those positions. I know that when he was at Leeds, he came with a lot of prospect. A lot of people were speaking really highly of him and he hasn't really skipped a beat, you know, since he come to Tottenham. He doesn't look out of place at all. Comfortable on the ball, can play a multiple amount of positions. He looks quality.
Filling in at centre-back, 18-year-old Archie Gray. What a future he has got. For now, it's the immediate future. Spurs lead. Remember, you're listening to Kick-Off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes 18+. BeGambleAware.org. We're about to get the second half underway. Spurs in charge. United simply must do better or they're going out. Spurs 1, Man United 0. Second half live on TalkSport with former England striker Leanne Sanderson alongside your commentator Sam Matface.
Well, Spurs beat Manchester United earlier in the season by 3-0, and it was a brutal first half where Spurs were cutting United apart at will. It wasn't like that in the first 45 minutes. They had more chances maybe to go on and extend their lead. Manchester United had one or two as well. Actually, Leanne, on reflection, I was speaking to a couple of the Tottenham fans downstairs, and on reflection of that first half, one of them said to me, it looks like you're watching two teams that are in very mid-table.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I also think we can talk about Manchester United could have been behind by a lot. I don't necessarily think Tottenham have been unbelievable. I think Manchester United have given away the ball really cheaply, and they've turned over the ball in those defensive areas, and it's looked really poor. I'm looking right now and I've seen that Ruben Amorim sent out all the Manchester United players to warm up. So I expect he'll let it go 10-15 minutes. If nothing happens, then he'll make changes.
Yep. So we're as they were at the end of the first half, with the only change to the starting lineups being Johnny Evans coming in for the injured Victor Lindelof. We'll go through the 11s in just a second. Tottenham on the attack with Son, reverse ball to Maddison, low ball into the 6-yard box, comes back to Kulusevski, and it's in, and it's the perfect start to the second half for Tottenham Hotspur. 48 seconds after the restart, a lovely reverse ball by Maddison to send Son away down the left-hand side. He pulls it through the area. It's not defended well by Manchester United. Comes back to Kulusevski, who has the time to turn and slam it past the stranded goalkeeper. It's 2-0 to Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, really poor defending from Manchester United. It was a brilliant ball in from James Maddison. It's a poor clearance from Martinez. He's kind of got he's on the back foot and he just makes kind of a half touch towards it and then sets it straight back to Kulusevski. I said Kulusevski's been Tottenham's best player this season, but again, Johnny Evans on the front post has to cut that out. Euros there as well, that has to be cut out positionally. The back line are all over the place. But fair play to Tottenham Hotspur. 30 seconds after the restart, Manchester United's concentration, and I think Ruben Amorim, I said it at half-time, he should have made the substitutions at half-time. Manchester United looked flat, and I look for a reaction, Sam, after the goal. And all the Manchester United players, similar to the first goal, Bayindir was at fault for that one, for sure. I know Adrian said at half-time it was a good finish. Yes, it was, but I think he's flat on his heels. But what I will say is the Manchester United players have kind of picked up the ball again. No one was even saying anything to each other. I'm not saying you need to hammer each other, but have some type of, come on. You know, Bruno Fernandes should be saying something. Whereas they're all just kind of picking the ball out the back of the net. Oh, off we go again.
4 in a row for Kulusevski. 4 goals in 4 games for the Swede. He had a really great start to the season, Dejan Kulusevski. That's his 6th of the campaign. And Ruben Amorim has got a conundrum to solve here, because Manchester United have conceded with the first attack of the second half. I didn't even have a chance to tell you about the lineups. Fraser Forster is the Tottenham goalkeeper. It's Pedro Porro, Dragoshin, Gray and Spence at the back 4. Saru's been booked, Basuma and Maddison in midfield with Kulusevski, Solanke and Son. For Manchester United, Altay Bayindir, In goal, Lenny Yoro, Johnny Evans and Martinez the back three. Mazraoui has been booked, Ugarte, Eriksson and Dalot. And then Fernandes and Antony supporting Højlund in attack. Manchester United 2-0 down to Tottenham Hotspur, who beat them 3-0 earlier in the season. It's 125 years since they started playing this fixture, and recently it's been one that has belonged to Tottenham. United haven't beaten them in any of the last 4 meetings and haven't won here since October 2021. If they're going to do so tonight, they're going to have to do so from behind, and significantly behind. They're going to have to find 3 goals. And it's been a poor performance from Manchester United from back to front. And I think Ruben Amorim, who had quite a strong start really, 4 wins, 2 draws and a defeat in the opening few weeks of his management, has seen the size of the task exposed here tonight. Is, I wouldn't say fringe players, but some of those who have been on the fringes of the first team have shown that really they haven't got enough to carry the fight to a Tottenham Hotspur team that are severely depleted with injury, especially in the back line. But they have won the ball through Antony over on the far touchline, robbing the ball off Spence. Basuma retreats to the byline, tries to play it into Spence. It again goes out for a throwing down by the corner flag, and it's a Tottenham Hotspur ball. So we've played 4 minutes of the second half, and Manchester United 2-0 behind to Tottenham Hotspur. And Omar Barada, Sir Dave Brailsford and Jason Wilcox sitting on the front row of the director's box here, looking a little bit perturbed.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to do. I think Ruben Amorim has done an admirable job since he's come in with regards to how he communicates and kind of putting out fires off the pitch. But I think at some point people will start to, critique him and his team selection at some point, because that's what you're going to be judged on: performances, results, and the team you're selecting. And players like Ahmad being on the bench during this game makes no sense to me. You mentioned at half-time, Sam, Manchester United are not going to win the league, so then why put your best players on the bench for this type of game? Makes no sense.
Son down the left, trying to expose the United frailties again. Back to within about 10 yards of the penalty area, and Sarr then sent wide towards the Tottenham right, where Pedro Porro in his white shirt with dark blue sleeves and thick navy trim which goes down either side of the shirt, dark shorts and white socks, attacking the goal away to our right, will find Basuma, who's allowed to run rings around Eriksson and come away with the ball. It's then picked up by Maddison from deep, looks up. Solanke was threatening to run in behind there, just looking to dip the shoulder and go as soon as Maddison was ready to release him. He didn't do that, he checked back, and Gray then strokes the ball out over on the far side. I don't think anybody's too surprised that Archie Gray has taken to life in the Tottenham team well. He took to life in the Leeds 11 as a duck would to water. He is born to play football. He is already a boy in a man's body, really. He's absolutely huge. He's a physical specimen and he's a very good footballer. He started at centre-back at the weekend. He started at centre-back at Ferencváros earlier in the Europa League campaign. Then played left-back, he's played right-back, played in midfield. At one stage, I suppose he has to settle on a position, does he? But at the moment, well, just being in the team is good enough for an 18-year-old at Tottenham Hotspur. Here is Dalot.
And he's playing brilliantly. He doesn't look out of place at all. You mentioned it, 18 years old, can play a number of positions. You're right, Sam, at some point you will want to narrow it down, but right now, as an 18-year-old, can you imagine playing at this level? You'll play anywhere. A lot of players will say that, but I think he's had an excellent game. He looks really strong, he's composed, doesn't look out of place at all. I think Basuma also has had a brilliant game tonight. I think he's looked comfortable. He's first and second to every ball. I think he's really got things going for this team. Sarr as well. I think if Ruben Amorim doesn't change this, I think it's going to be 3 or 4 Tottenham. I really do.
Well, it's all Tottenham. I can't even remember the last time that Manchester United made a sort of assertive foray into the Tottenham half. I think it was before half-time. 53 on the clock. Tottenham 2, Manchester United 0. Here is Basuma into Sarr. Back to Basuma again, and then all the way back to Archie Gray. Joshua Zirkzee and Ahmad, I think, are about to come on for United. Here is Solanke. Solanke looking for the run of Son, the Spurs captain. Just checking his run now. A little Rabona back flick from Kulusevski as it's given to him centrally, but he overhit it and it ran through to the Turkish goalkeeper, who will clear away to our right-hand side for Manchester United, who trail And Tottenham on the verge of a Carabao Cup semi-final and making up a quartet of heavyweights. Offside flag up against Højlund. And I think he's going to be replaced. Xerxes about to enter the fray. Kobbie Mainoo and Ahmad, so a triple change incoming for Manchester United.
Should have been done at half-time. I was saying that. I'm not saying I know everything, but you could clearly see that Manchester United were not performing in the first half, and these players, not so much Xerxes, I still think the jury's still out of him.
Solanke played over the top in a foot race with Martinez, gets hold of the ball edge of the area, cuts infield too easily, right-footed shot, brilliant goal! Super finish down low to the goalkeeper's right, but how was he allowed to get the shot away? No pressure on the ball from Manchester United. An easy ball up to Solanke. Martinez didn't engage. He came in on his right foot and he drilled it to the bottom corner. It's a good finish from Dominic Solanke, who gets his second goal of the night. Tottenham are going to the semi-final and Manchester United might as well go home.
Yeah, brilliant finish from Dom Solanke. Completely outmuscles, outplays Lisandro Martinez. Is a fantastic run from Dom Solanke in the initial play as well. Martinez plays him on side, and then he still has a lot to do, Dom Solanke. Johnny Evans still has an opportunity to stop this shot. As soon as he gets his shot, it's a fantastic ball from Jed Spence again as well. The weight of pass, but I said it, Sam, these substitutions of Manchester United, they had to come sooner. They had to come at half-time. I said it about 5 minutes ago, this game was going to be 3 or 4 if Ruben Amorim didn't make substitutions, and now he's about to do them, and it's too little too late. But I think taking nothing away from Tottenham, they've been ruthless. This is a massive statement from Ange Postecoglou. I think Ange Postecoglou has been under a lot of pressure with his Tottenham Hotspur team. And I said about Dom Solanke pre-game, I said he needs to score more goals, he needs to look, and tonight, I think he's been brilliant, Dom Solanke.
Well, here are the 3 changes. Anthony comes off and Ahmad comes on. Joshua Xerxes comes on and Kobbie Mainoo enters the fray. And the change is Rasmus Højlund, as I think we all anticipated. And the other change, I think, will be Christian Eriksen in the centre of midfield for Kobbie Mainoo. We're just waiting for the 4th official to get his board working. He's struggling to programme in the numbers. And here's Christian Eriksen, who goes off for Kobbie Mainoo. Look, I mean, the numbers aren't working out for Manchester United here. They're 3-0 down. And with all due respect, Manchester United's attack isn't good enough to score 4 goals in this game. It's not even good enough to score 3 goals and take us to penalties, I wouldn't have thought, in the 40 minutes, if you include injury time, that are going to be available to us between now and the end of the game.
No, there's no doubt it's not been good enough, and I'm actually quite surprised. I think this could be the first time since Ruben Amorim's been in charge that people will start asking him some really difficult questions.
But they haven't,
and he's going to have to
they?
answer them. No, they haven't, but also the selection, the team selection makes no sense. You're bringing these substitutions on now. It needed, okay, you want to rest Ahmad, you want to wrap him up in cotton wool, I get that, because he's a young player that you want to protect. But Kobbie Mainoo, why was he not starting?
Given away by Ugarte in quite comical fashion, and again gifted possession back to Tottenham Hotspur, who went charging towards the goal. I mean, look, Tottenham have been ruthless enough to take advantage of this situation, and Ange Postecoglou did need a victory tonight. I said to our producer, I thought that this was going to be a Tottenham Hotspur victory this evening, and I'll explain why in just a second. Here's Kulusevski going down the right-hand side, blocking Lisandro Martinez. I just wondered whether or not there was something in this. The last time that these two met at a quarter-final stage in this competition, Tottenham ended up winning, and they went on to win the League Cup 1999. Stopped Manchester United from winning a quadruple instead of a treble. And I just wondered whether or not this will be one of those trophies that, as Ange says, he always puts a trophy on the cabinet in the second season, that ends up going to Tottenham Hotspur. He'll be delighted if it does. You could tell by his reaction as well